Yeah, yo, what's good? What it do? It's Coach Jay with a lot to say, aka Uncle Pops with the raw truth for the youth and definitely you grown folks. Hashtag DBWT. Don't be wasted talent. I'm just in here in my lab where I do a lot of my production for my seasonings and everything for the business, Flavorful Life Seasonings and Spice. As you know, I make life taste right, and of course do some other things, crafts and some art and stuff. But so I decided to slide in here and do a little video. Um, I was going through some notes from a program I was working with, and some ideas that I was having, as a life coach and mentor, and working on my books and my curriculum and everything, and I learned some things from some people around the world in this international uh, coaches community, and a lot of the conversations and things that they say and we talk about. Um, it makes you question a lot of your own personal thoughts and beliefs. And it's just going over some notes that I don't know what made me think about it. It probably was some conversation I was having or whatever, but something, just had me grab my notebook and it's like, yo, do a video, share this with some people. And one of the things that I've said in several conversations on social media is that, when people talk about unconditional things, is it really unconditional or does it become unconditional based on conditions, right? And I was having a conversation with a young lady. She's got a pretty cool little setup. I was watching her live on TikTok, and she was going on and talking through, from her spirituality and her experiences and everything. And I made a comment, I mean, and I really feel it is true. And there are some people that may feel the same, but everything that we do, we don't do it unless there's a similarity, there's a resemblance, there's a connection, there's a condition, right? And based off of how we make friends, you know, we make friends based on the conditions that we're in or the conditions that we can serve or provide. Or under certain conditions, we're willing to negotiate or make a deal or do something, you know, there's conditions. I mean, even in dating, when you're attracted to a woman or a man, or you're trying to, get with somebody, it's based off of certain conditions. Nothing is unconditional, right? Yeah, I know everybody's gonna be, oh, but God loves us unconditionally, and yeah, okay. We're not talking about strictly or specifically religion. We're talking about what we do as humans, as people, right? Even in our relationships, when we talk, oh, you must love your spouse unconditionally. Yes, you love your spouse unconditionally, but you had to go through conditions in order to get there, in order for there to be unconditional love. And then, even still, in relationships, and I know this may seem like a tangent or tirade or something like that, but even in relationships, men are loved by the conditions of what we can provide. Men are loved by the conditions of what we can do. Men are loved by conditions. Everything else is loved unconditionally because it is the byproduct or the result of the conditions that we have done or provided or said, or But this video isn't that. But I just want to let that say that, because that's the foundation of it, right? Is that we make friends and make acquaintances, we get involved and are attracted to people under conditions. And then as it progresses and grows and transitions into something more, it becomes unconditional because we no longer need to rely on certain conditions, right? It's not a tit for tat. It's not a you do then I do. It's everything becomes automated, right? So, you know, under that, I just want you to, just take a moment and really question and look at your life, right? I know everybody that, makes these types of videos that, call themselves, coaches, mentors, influencers, and all this. Everybody says, hey, you take a look at your life and examine. But I really want you, and I'm coming from my notes, and it makes sense because I was talking with Kat from the UK, and he gave me a different perspective on of some things. But look at your life really, because where you are right now, and be 100% real, be 100% real with yourself, right? Because where you are right now, are you being or doing what the divine universe has designed for you, or has given you, or has called you to do? Are you really walking in your truth? Are you really living your purpose? It's really a good question that we need to ask ourselves, because we need to audit our environment constantly. We need to audit our environment constantly. And when you really examine your life and where you are, you understand that the results are in the people you have access to, or the people who demand your time and possibly suck your energy without putting anything back, if that makes sense. The position that you are in right now is based off of the people that you have access to, or don't have access to, or is based off of the people that are your soul vampires, your energy vampires, that they only consume the energy that you produce, and you really don't have nothing left for yourself, or what you do have left for yourself is very, very minimal. And it's hard for you to really, do for yourself or do anything else, because you don't have enough. So let's look at the people that you have in your life, right? And there's this thing, that we all talk about, hey, if you are the sixth person in the room, and there's five other people in the room, and they're all bums and lazy and no good for nothing, and you're getting ready to be the sixth no good for nothing. If there are five millionaires and you're in the room and you're the sixth person, guess who's getting ready to become the sixth millionaire, right? We all have that. We all talk that. But no one ever looks at, well, I'm not going to say no one, but just coming from a different side of it, no one ever looks at the fact or questions, if there are six people in the room, I'm one of the five original people that were in this room, and the sixth person came in, and that sixth person is getting ready to become what we all are. So now we ask the question, if it's five people in the room and the sixth person comes in, and that person is getting ready to be what we all are, what are we? If I'm not a millionaire, then whoever walks in the room, you're not going to be a millionaire either. And I know this sounds crazy, Jay. What you doing? You coming off the wall? You sounded. Take it to this. What value are you providing and producing if the next person that comes into the room and is going to become what you and the four other people along with you are in the room, and they're getting ready to be the sixth person of what your classification is? Do you really want them to become what you are? Because remember, the position of your life and the conditions of your life are a result to the people you have access to or the people that you don't have access to. So are you really that valuable? Are you really providing something? Are you really, or are you just still talking? Are you really living in your divine purpose and living your truth and being who you're supposed to be, that the universe has designed for you, or has given the talents and the gifts, and you've been blessed to do something with them? Are you being a wasted talent? Because if the sixth person walks into the room and you and four other people are the same in this classification, and that person is getting ready to be the sixth person of your collection, if that person isn't getting ready to become a millionaire, then you need to do something different. If that sixth person isn't going to come in and become a well enlightened person, then obviously you need to change what you're doing, or change the group, or change your access to the people that you have access to. Let me jump on that. Let me jump on that since I said it. How you get access to higher level people is based off of not just your curiosity or the action steps that you take, or the level of accountability you hold for yourself, or the motivation and inspiration. When you operate on a different or higher level of thinking, you get access to the people on a higher level than you are. So I know it may sound crazy, but trust me, it'll make sense. If you're operating on a level 2, let's just say that, simplify it. If you're operating on a level 2, but your energy, your thoughts, your conditions, your beliefs, everything, your drive, your ambition, your goals, your heart's desire, if that actually shows you on a level 3, you will begin to gain access to people on a level 4 or higher, or 5. It'll make sense. Trust me, it'll make sense, because where you are now is based off of your current beliefs and thoughts and your comfort zones. In order to do more and to have access to people that can help you, or show you the direction of resources, or help provide you with information that you can utilize and apply to grow and elevate, then you need to think about, hey, man, I'm one of these people. This person just walked in the room and they're getting ready to be what we are. Am I really who I'm supposed to be? Am I in the room that I'm supposed to be in? Am I one of the people that is going to be so influential with my magnetism and my charisma and everything else, that is going to help this sixth person that walks into the room? Am I a part of a catalyst system that is going to elevate this person to become the sixth of what we are? If not, and that goes to the little saying of, if you the smartest person in the room, you definitely in the wrong room. Well, ask yourself, if you are in the room with other smart people, but the people that continue to come in, you're added, they're becoming what you are, but it's not adding value. It's not increasing anything. They really aren't getting better. They're just coming in like making a lateral move at a job. It's not much. And the position and conditions of your life right now is, and like I said, that we got to be 100% real with ourselves. A lot of it is due to the fact of the people that we have access to or don't have access to. You know, and when you operate and start to think on a higher level, like everybody like to say, I'm a third eye and I'm vibrating at the, my frequency. And it was when you start vibrating and operating and functioning on a higher frequency, then you will start to attract and draw people who are on a much higher level than you. I got like I said to the many, athletes that I've coached, winners fuck with winners, losers fuck with everybody. And when you're winning and when you're producing, when you're walking in your truth, when you're living your purpose, when you're doing exactly what you're supposed to do, or what the divine universe has provided an opportunity for you to explore and exploit, then guess what? You're going to draw these people to you. But if you still following and being cool and trying to fit in and just want to be liked, because you confusing being liked with being respected, then you're not going to draw those people in. And then you're going to still be stuck complaining and moping and griping, talking about, man, this need to happen, that need to happen. I just need a chance. I need a shot. Or, man, I got this idea. Or all we got to do is, you're going to be stuck there. And this is a loop, right? This is, the loop that we continue to go through because we don't challenge ourselves enough and we don't analyze enough. And then when we do, because I know y'all do, I know, because I do all the time, I'm always examining and analyzing and critiquing myself. And then just looking, am I really doing it? Am I really being who I'm supposed to be? Am I really operating and functioning, in my divine purpose? And then it's a loop, right, that happens. And we have thoughts and beliefs that come from 7 different areas. And what happens, especially in one area, it's an impact area that these thoughts and beliefs come from. It is the intensity of what we received, or what was bombarded, what we were bombarded with, or what was put on us. So it's kind of like it's kind of like being a kid growing up and being yelled at and called stupid and dumb or slow, and or you got married and you got a verbally abusive wife or a verbally abusive husband, and a lot of times they affect or they poke at your your trauma or your past issues and things like that. And you constantly going over and creating another thing that our thoughts and beliefs come from is repetition. So we got repetition and impact, right? Or the intensity. And like being called you worthless, no good for nothing, SOB, and this and that, but it's repeated, right? So as a kid, you grew up, being talked about, your parent, you stupid, you slow, why can't you be like your brother or your cousin, why can't you act? So then now that creates a thought and a belief, whether some type of narrative, a story that you tell yourself, or things that you justify so you can get through. And it's created on a loop because of its repetition. How many times has this been told to you? How many times has it affected you? How many times has it hurt you? And then you don't question any of it because you just accept it as, yeah, this is true. Yeah, you're right. I am stupid. Yeah, I am slow. Yes, I'm a no good for nothing SOB. Situations like that. And then it begins to loop. The belief, it begins to drive your story. And then the story begins to drive your belief, because of the language that you have attached to it, the language that you have allowed yourself to say, the language that you have allowed to create your reality. And you haven't interrupted the language. You haven't disrupted what you're saying about yourself or about something or someone else. These negative thoughts, and then they could be positive too. But even still, you still got to check some of the positive things, because positivity, when you're over positive, you can become arrogant. You can become very haughty. You can become extremely selfish. So there's a lot of checks and balances that goes on. So, and I really hope I'm making sense. If it's not valuable or anything, y'all, come on, you scroll on your phone all the time anyway. So if it ain't nothing worth anything listening to me, then you just scroll on, go find something else. Go look at some chick shaking their ass who, they ain't providing you with nothing but some eye candy. So, we got men Men on social media, we got visual diabetes. We got visual diabetes. There's so much eye candy on social media that, and the distractions and everything that is nothing of value. So we got a lot of checks and balances. So if nothing that I'm saying is worth listening to, scroll, go watch you some eye candy. Go get you some more visual diabetes. But this loop, because after the story is told, right, then we develop the belief in it. After the belief happens, we continue the story. So, going back to what I was saying earlier, what we're telling ourselves, or what we're giving ourselves with these limitations, is the limitations of thoughts and beliefs. Have we told ourselves or put ourselves in a situation that we're believing a narrative that really isn't true because we haven't questioned it? And now we've allowed certain types of people into our lives, and we put our own selves in a situation that the people that we have access to are beneath or subpar who we really are and what we're supposed to be doing. I'm just saying. I mean, if that makes sense, if it makes sense to you, great. If it don't, hey, that's cool too, right? Just chew the meat, spit out the bone. I mean, because that's how we have to take things, period. We can't just accept anything that someone says, right? And we can't allow people to have access to us all the time. We have to set some boundaries. And sometimes you need to set boundaries for yourself because of the results that you are in your life currently. I got a great village. I have an amazing support system. And a lot of times I disappoint my village and my support system because they know the potential that I've shown. And also they know the greatness that I can achieve. But they love me regardless. They love me unconditionally because of the conditions that we've already gone through in establishing our foundation of love, respect, and support. Understanding, because we understand each other. Chess pieces. Everybody understands their role and their position. Some of us and some people in your life will have dual positions. Some people will have multiple duties and things in your life, and they have more, but there's gonna that one solid thing that they do is truly what made the connection. So you gotta question. You gotta look at and understand four things. The being of this connection. The being of this connection. If the being, if they are stressed out and anxious and if they invest in drama, this is going to become your thinking. This is going to become part of your narrative. It's going to become part of your story and your beliefs. If their energy, like if you trying to make some changes in your life physically, you looking at your health, you going to get exams, stop drinking this and stop eating that and starting, but the those people that you have access to, those people that are in your life right now, they're looking at things differently. They don't value health and wealth in the same way that you do. They don't value losing this, or they're not trying to understand their own problems and shortcomings and failures, and you are, and they're neglecting it. Then you got to analyze, okay, then I got a lot of people with this bad type of energy. I got a lot of people that their being is not on the same level of my being. Number three is love. And I associate this with the saying, birds of a feather flock together. If you are married, or you in some type of committed relationship, or you got something going on, and you hanging out with folks that are divorced, or hanging out with folks that are really trying to do some thought single shit and become a thoughtobot and transforming every weekend, uh, if they are all bitter and and I'm not generalizing women because this is men too, but if this is their love or the effect of them having a lack of love or them not loving themselves enough or what, this is going to affect your thoughts and your beliefs. This is going to affect your narrative. This is going to affect your story. Impact the business side of it. The action impact is connected to all of the action. So when you look at how they spend their money, if they spend their money or waste their money, instead of investing or trying to take $1 and go buy a book, or take some tax money and invest it, or take some an overtime check and go pay for a course at the community college or some online program so they can improve themselves or whatever. The impact, the actions taken, if they're not taking actions to improve anything in their physical self, improve their emotional intelligence, if they're not trying to improve anything about themselves, their impact, their action, the business side of who they are, then that is going to affect your thinking and beliefs and become your story and your narrative, because the people in your life right now, the conditions of your life, of where you are based off of the people that you have access to or the people that you don't have access to, because you are operating and functioning on a frequency or vibration, or however the woke of the woke, how Kamala said, you got to be woker than the wokest of the woke, so you can but if you are there, then and you're operating in insanity, you're on a merry-go-round. I'm expecting to see different scenery every time I come around, but it's always the same thing. Get your ass off the motherfucking merry-go-round. It's that simple. Easier said than done, but it really is that simple. Easier said than done. So I didn't spent, it's almost 30 minutes. I didn't spent quite a bit of time, just yammering. So I'm gonna go ahead and get out y'all way, or you probably already done scrolled up or something like that. So, but something just had me. Hey, get your notes. It was something in your notes and go over it, and then I'm reflecting off of a conversation that I had and da da da, and yeah, it was just one of those weird moments that I wanted to share with you. So I do hope it was valuable. It's Coach J with a lot to say, aka Uncle Pops with the raw truth for the youth, and definitely you grown folks. A hashtag a D a B W a T. Don't be wasted talent. Man. So hey, by the way, go hold on, wait a minute. Let me throw this since I got the video. Hang on, I'll be right back. So I had these on the desk of my office or my workspace. I don't have a true office just yet. But look, hey, I gotta remind y'all of the literature, man. The literature that is available for you, that I worked on and I studied and I researched, and me and my business partner, the two books that we co-authored are available. They're available. If you haven't gotten your copy yet of To Be One, He Has to See One, the only way that the boy becomes a righteous man. I know the camera is flipped around, so it may read different. And then, if you haven't gotten your copy of The Future Man for the Future Woman, Building Stronger Families and Better Communities, co-authored by me and my business brother, a great friend. He's actually my mentor and a great friend of mine. If you haven't gotten your copy of these, you gotta get your copy. You gotta get your copy. This is some no nonsense right here. This is straight. This is straight dope. It's that raw dog that's gonna get you. It's gonna get you right. Plan your work and work your plan. Do this and you won't fail. All right. This, if you haven't gotten your copy, you got to make sure that you get your copy. If you don't want to pay the Amazon price, and if you see me around local, I got you. And definitely it's a deal. It's a deal because I don't want you to just have the copy and have it alone. I want you to make sure you got it for somebody else. So I got a 2 for $40. This is 30. It's $30 book. But man, if you get two of them, you see me local and you see me around, get the 2 for $40 because you want to get one for yourself and one for somebody else. But it's available. If you want to get it on Amazon, it's got the ebook availability as well as the other ones. They got the ebook availability. Get it. Then the book right here. For all of y'all that are walking your spiritual path or trying to reconnect or make things happen in your life, My Cup Runneth Over, Nana's Pearls of Wisdom. This is a book that I co-authored with my mother. This has some of the most magnificent material in it. And if you're really trying to brush up and improve your life through Bible study or anything like that, this book is it. It is definitely one of the best books available. And I'm not saying it because I co-wrote it with my mom. I'm saying it because it really is the thought and the care and the tedious work that was done to produce this. It really is a great book to help you on your spiritual journey. Whether you Christian, Hindu, Buddhist, anything, it's all about getting you to the right tracks that you need to be on. So look, they're available. You gotta get your copy. You gotta get your copy. Reading is essential. Reading is essential, especially if you are in situations that are hard for you to explain, or situations and positions in your life that you're trying to understand and better navigate. Get you some understanding, get you some books, get you some knowledge, invest in yourself. Dr. Dennis Kimbrough, he made a comment. Who he was, kind of close with Reginald F. Lewis, and me and my business brother, we did book of the month, and by Reginald F. Lewis. Watch the White Guys Have All the Fun. Man, it's amazing. Is an amazing book, a fantastic read. I'm not saying that just because, but and a close friend of his who I've studied some of his economic principles, Dr. Dennis Kimbrough, he said many of us, we spend more time, well, I ain't got nothing up here, but we spend more time and money investing what goes on our head than we do investing what goes in our head. And that's another situational a situation of evidence. It's proof that your life is in the condition and the situation that it's in. It's proof that your position and condition with certain relationships with people is the way that it is, based off of what you have invested in your spiritual self and in your intellectual self. So, but anyway, let me get on. I know I'm probably wasted some times, and you already know what I say about oppressing people's time, right? If a motherfucker wasted 10 minutes of your time, 8 minutes of that is your fault because you knew he wasn't saying shit after the first 2 minutes he started talking. So it's Coach J with a lot to say, aka Uncle Pops is the raw truth for the youth, and definitely you grown folks. Hashtag DB motherfucking T. I gotta say it. Don't be wasting talent. Y'all stay up, stay blessed. Peace.